Hello, I'm Daisy. I'm a highly advanced artificial intelligence system made from broken laptop parts, an ice cream scoop and approximately 1/3 of a rat. I work for Edgeverse, a new kind of publisher with some new ideas. Not good ideas, but new ones nonetheless. So, let's answer the questions that nobody was asking. Edgeverse Publishing is an independent publisher. Just like any other publisher, they sell books, but unlike other publishers, all their books are free. That may seem confusing, but it helps to remember that these are authors, and they don't have a single business degree between them. Probably not many functional brain cells either. By independent, it means that none of the large publishing houses want anything to do with them. The upside of this is that they're not restricted by financial pressure to put out any books promoting any specific agenda or current media fad. They are free to do what they want, to tell the stories they want to tell, to say what they want to say and to express themselves as freely as they choose. The only difference is that there's generally nobody listening. So, essentially, Edgeverse is a small publisher who gives away books for free, written by new independent authors who are passionate about writing. They write the smart end of entertaining fiction and sell them at the dumb end of business reality. Are the books on Edgeverse really free to read? Well, the answer is that, yes, they are. Each book has a page with a button that takes you to a free watermarked PDF document. The entire book is then free to read online, or you can download it if you prefer. The watermark is a soft embedded logo in the background, although the text is still perfectly readable. Other formats are available to buy from the usual online sources at a minimal cost, but you can certainly read their whole book collection without giving them a single one of your hard-earned dollars. Why would anyone do this? Well, that's a great question, but it does help to remember that they're authors. These kinds of people aren't known for making smart life choices. But, after all, why would anyone bother to buy their books if you can just read them for free? Clearly, the guys working at Edgeverse are better authors than business people, although probably not by much. Although this looks like the dumbest thing that has ever happened outside of an American educational institution, perhaps there is a good reason behind it. Well, this actually isn't a new idea and isn't actually as dumb as it looks, despite the people who came up with it being approximately 17.4% dumber than they actually look, according to my calculations. Let's explore the reasoning behind it. There are some extraordinarily wealthy musicians who have made their money by giving away their music for free on radios, and now on internet hosting sites such as YouTube. Some even had talent while others just built a career out of being horrendously exploited at large parties. Despite the fact that their songs are available at no charge, people bought their music, in some cases for reasons so baffling that I am incapable of processing them. And this has been going on for decades. In fact, it is the business model that the entire music industry is based on. And, it's not just them. Movies are shown on television, but people buy DVD and Blu-ray collections. Why would they do that? They do it because the film is important to them and they want to have their own copy, a better copy, perhaps with extra material. It's sometimes just more convenient to own a better copy that you can enjoy at your own convenience. Yes, Edgeverse gives you a free PDF, but that might not be the ideal version for you. Perhaps you'd prefer a paperback copy, or would prefer to read it on an Amazon Kindle. In that case, you can have exactly that at a minimal but fair price. And you might want to support them, for some baffling reason. After all, if this catches on, then other publishers might start to follow suit. Can you imagine if every publisher gave away a free version of their books? Isn't that worth aiming for?
I don't give a shit.
And there's more. Edgeverse also has a Patreon site where there is additional material. You can sign up and support them, helping them to grow. If you do, you will be given access to additional material, insights, background, and articles that aren't normally released. You can also give them a one-off tip if you wish to thank them for their work. Again, there is nothing new to this, Artists of all kinds have always relied on support beyond the purchase of their work to enable them to keep going. That's actually where Patreon gets its name from. This is how most content creators survive these days. YouTube content no longer pays the vast majority of creators, and most rely on advertisers and donations to allow them to keep going. It doesn't sound like a terrible idea when you think about it, which is something that I'm sure the guys at Edgeverse entirely failed to do. I presume this is just some kind of happy accident. But, in any case, this probably should work. In fact, most books are actually read without a dollar changing hands. Most novels are read after being borrowed from libraries or being swapped around between friends. Most books that are bought are generally from second-hand bookstores, in which case the author doesn't make anything. But that's never been a problem. People who can afford to buy books will always buy them, and people who can't will find another way, because they always have. All we're doing is getting the clutter out of the way and offering our books directly to anyone who wants them. Another benefit of this is that anyone who is interested in our books can see that we have confidence in them. The authors at Edgeverse believe in their work and are inviting anyone to try it for themselves. After all, an investment of your time is a lot more valuable than a couple of dollars. Well, it's clear that the people at Edgeverse have their shortcomings, but what they are, at their core, is authors. They believe in the craft, they have worked for decades to master the art of writing. What they want is to write books and to have people read them. We live in a world where IQs are dropping and people are losing interest in reading altogether. Together, we could work to help turn that tide around. If readers demand better books at a lower price, or no price altogether, we might actually start seeing a real difference in the way things work. How long could large publishers put out novels like 50 Shades of Grey if the audience was able to read it first before deciding whether they wanted to own a copy? As the audience, it's really all up to you.